Are you drinking enough water? If you're like most people, you probably think the answer is yes. But here's something that might surprise you about hydration that goes beyond just counting glasses of water. Today, we're exploring what current scientific research tells us about optimal hydration, electrolyte balance, and how your body's needs evolve as you age. Important disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice. Always consult with your health care provider before making significant changes to your diet, supplement routine, or hydration practices, especially if you have existing health conditions or take medications. What prompted today's discussion was the overwhelming number of questions I've received about hydration, electrolytes, and whether plain water alone is sufficient for optimal health. There's a lot of confusing and sometimes contradictory information out there. So let's cut through the noise and focus on what peer-reviewed research actually shows us. Let me know in the comments what specific hydration questions you have. I read every comment and often use your questions to guide future content based on the latest scientific evidence. Your body is approximately 60% water, but this isn't just static fluid sitting in your tissues. This water is constantly in motion, serving as the transportation system that carries nutrients to cells, removes metabolic waste products, facilitates countless biochemical reactions, and helps regulate your body temperature. But water doesn't accomplish these critical functions alone. It relies on dissolved minerals called electrolytes to maintain proper function. The primary electrolytes your body depends on include sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, chloride, and phosphate. These minerals work together to regulate fluid balance between the inside and outside of your cells, enable proper nerve signal transmission, facilitate muscle contractions, including your heartbeat, and maintain the electrical charge that powers cellular processes. As we age, several physiological changes occur that can affect how efficiently our bodies manage hydration and electrolyte balance. Research published in aging and nephrology journals indicates that kidney function may gradually decline with age, affecting how effectively we retain necessary water and minerals while eliminating waste products. Our thirst sensation can become less sensitive, meaning we may not feel thirsty even when our bodies need fluids. Additionally, many medications commonly prescribed to older adults can affect fluid and electrolyte balance. Diuretics, blood pressure medications, and certain diabetes medications can all influence how your body processes water and minerals. Dietary changes that often occur with aging, such as reduced appetite or difficulty chewing certain foods, can also alter mineral intake patterns. The complexity of hydration becomes more apparent when you understand that optimal fluid balance isn't just about the volume of water you consume. It's about the intricate dance between water intake, electrolyte concentration, kidney function, and cellular transport mechanisms. Research suggests that maintaining this balance becomes increasingly important as we age, though individual needs vary significantly based on health status, activity level, climate, and genetic factors. Let's examine what current scientific literature tells us about the key electrolytes and their roles in human physiology. Understanding these minerals can help you make informed decisions about your hydration strategy, though it's crucial to remember that individual needs vary dramatically. Sodium often gets a bad reputation due to its association with high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease. However, this reputation stems primarily from excessive consumption of processed sodium found in packaged foods, restaurant meals, and fast food. The sodium itself isn't inherently problematic. In fact, it's absolutely essential for life. Sodium serves as the primary extracellular electrolyte, meaning it's mostly found in the fluid outside your cells. It plays a crucial role in maintaining blood volume and blood pressure, enables nerve impulse transmission, and facilitates muscle contractions. Without adequate sodium, your body cannot maintain proper fluid balance, and severe sodium deficiency can be life-threatening. The key distinction lies in the source and amount of sodium consumption. Highly processed table salt is primarily sodium chloride that has been refined and stripped of other naturally occurring minerals. In contrast, unrefined sea salt or mined salt contains sodium along with dozens of trace minerals that occur naturally in seawater or salt deposits. Research published in nutrition journals suggests that the body may process these different forms of sodium differently, though more studies are needed to fully understand the implications. What we do know is that the excessive sodium intake problematic for health typically comes from processed foods rather than mineral-rich natural salt used in normal cooking. For most healthy adults, current dietary guidelines recommend limiting sodium intake to less than 2,300 mg per day with an ideal target of 500 mg for those with hypertension or at risk for cardiovascular disease. However, these recommendations assume sodium intake primarily from processed sources. If you're considering adding natural salt to your water or food preparation, it's important to account for your total daily sodium intake from all sources. Additionally, if you take blood pressure medications or have kidney disease, changes to sodium intake should only be made under medical supervision, as these conditions can significantly affect how your body processes sodium. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body, making it one of the most important minerals for overall health. Despite its critical importance, research indicates that a significant portion of the population has suboptimal magnesium intake, with estimates suggesting that 50 to 60% of adults consume less than the recommended daily amount. Magnesium serves multiple physiological functions that become increasingly important as we age. It acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, helping to regulate the balance between muscle contraction and relaxation. This function is particularly important for cardiovascular health, as magnesium helps maintain the flexibility of blood vessel walls and supports healthy blood pressure regulation. In terms of energy production, magnesium is essential for the conversion of food into usable energy at the cellular level. It's required for the synthesis of ATP, which is often called the energy currency of cells. This may explain why magnesium deficiency is often associated with fatigue and weakness. Research published in cardiology and nutrition journals has examined magnesium's role in cardiovascular health. Some studies suggest that adequate magnesium intake may support healthy blood pressure levels and reduce the risk of heart rhythm abnormalities. However, it's important to note that these are observational studies and more research is needed to establish definitive causal relationships. Magnesium also plays a role in bone health, working alongside calcium and vitamin D to maintain bone density. It's involved in protein synthesis, which is important for muscle maintenance, especially as we age and naturally begin to lose muscle mass. The bioavailability of magnesium varies significantly depending on the form. Magnesium oxide, while inexpensive, is poorly absorbed and can cause digestive upset in many people. Forms like magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium malate tend to be better absorbed and cause fewer gastrointestinal side effects. However, magnesium supplements can interact with certain medications, including antibiotics, diuretics, and proton pump inhibitors. They can also affect the absorption of other minerals. If you're considering magnesium supplementation, discuss it with your healthcare provider, especially if you take medications or have kidney problems. Potassium is the primary intracellular electrolyte, meaning it's mostly found inside your cells rather than in the fluid surrounding them. It works in partnership with sodium to maintain proper fluid balance and enable cellular communication. The sodium-potassium pump powered by ATP is fundamental to nerve function, muscle contractions, and maintaining the electrical charge across cell membranes. Most adults consume far less potassium than recommended. Current dietary guidelines suggest 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily for adults, but average intake in many developed countries falls well short of this target. This is largely because potassium is abundant in whole foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, and dairy products that many people don't consume in adequate quantities. Research consistently shows that higher potassium intake is associated with lower blood pressure and reduced risk of stroke and kidney stones. The mechanism appears to involve potassium's ability to help the kidneys excrete excess sodium and its role in relaxing blood vessel walls. However, potassium supplementation requires careful consideration. Unlike sodium and magnesium, potassium supplements are regulated differently because excessive potassium can be dangerous, particularly for people with kidney disease or those taking certain medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics. For most people, the safest and most effective way to increase potassium intake is through food sources rather than supplements. If you're considering potassium supplementation, medical supervision is essential as blood levels need to be monitored to ensure safety. Now, let's discuss practical applications of this knowledge. The question many people have is whether they need to add electrolytes to their water or if plain water is sufficient for optimal hydration. For most healthy adults under normal circumstances, plain water meets basic hydration needs adequately. The human body has sophisticated mechanisms for regulating fluid and electrolyte balance, and the kidneys are remarkably efficient at conserving or excreting water and minerals as needed. However, certain situations may warrant attention to electrolyte replacement. During prolonged exercise, especially in hot environments, you lose both water and electrolytes through sweat. The composition of sweat varies among individuals, but it typically contains sodium chloride and smaller amounts of potassium and magnesium. Research on exercise physiology suggests that for activities lasting longer than an hour, or in cases of heavy sweating, replacing electrolytes becomes important for maintaining performance and preventing complications like muscle cramps or hyponatremia, which is dangerously low blood sodium levels. Climate also plays a role in hot, humid environments or at high altitudes. Your body's fluid and electrolyte needs may increase. Air travel, which involves cabin pressurization and dry air, can also affect hydration status. Age-related factors may influence electrolyte needs as well. Older adults may have reduced kidney function, altered thirst sensation, or take medications that affect fluid balance. Some research suggests that older adults may benefit from paying closer attention to electrolyte intake, though individual assessment is crucial. Certain health conditions affect hydration and electrolyte needs significantly. Diabetes can cause increased urination and electrolyte losses. Gastrointestinal illnesses involving vomiting or diarrhea rapidly deplete both fluids and electrolytes. Kidney disease, heart failure, and liver disease all affect how the body processes fluids and minerals. If you decide that electrolyte supplementation might be beneficial for your situation, quality and safety considerations are paramount. Not all electrolyte products are created equal, and the supplement industry is not regulated as strictly as pharmaceuticals. When evaluating electrolyte products, look for third-party testing for purity and potency. Be wary of products making exaggerated health claims or promising miraculous results. Read ingredient lists carefully, as some products contain artificial additives, excessive sugar, or stimulants that may not align with your health goals. The timing and method of electrolyte consumption can also matter. Some research suggests that sipping electrolyte solutions gradually may be more effective than consuming large amounts at once. The concentration of electrolytes in the solution can affect absorption, with moderate concentrations generally being absorbed more efficiently than highly concentrated solutions. It's also worth considering food sources of electrolytes before turning to supplements. Coconut water naturally contains potassium and magnesium. Dairy products provide calcium, potassium, and sodium. Fruits and vegetables offer a wide range of minerals, along with other beneficial compounds like antioxidants and fiber. Sea vegetables like dulse or kelp contain multiple minerals, though they should be consumed in moderation due to their high iodine content. Nuts and seeds provide magnesium and other minerals. Broths made from bones can contain minerals along with other nutrients, though the exact mineral content varies. The concept of bioavailability is crucial when discussing mineral supplementation. This refers to how well your body can absorb and utilize a particular nutrient. Minerals from food sources are often more bioavailable than isolated supplements because they come packaged with other compounds that enhance absorption. For example, magnesium absorption is enhanced by vitamin D and hindered by excessive calcium intake. Iron absorption is enhanced by vitamin C and inhibited by calcium and certain compounds in tea and coffee. These interactions highlight the complexity of nutrition and the potential advantages of obtaining nutrients from varied food sources. Individual variation in mineral needs and absorption is significant and often underestimated. Genetic factors affect how efficiently different people absorb and utilize minerals. Age, sex, pregnancy status, activity level, climate, and health conditions all influence requirements. Some people may have higher needs due to genetic variations in mineral transport proteins. Others may have conditions that affect absorption, such as celiac disease, Crohn's disease, or gastric bypass surgery. Certain medications can interfere with mineral absorption or increase excretion. This individual variation is why blanket recommendations for mineral supplementation can be problematic. What works for one person may be unnecessary or even harmful for another. This is particularly true for minerals like iron, which can be toxic in excess, or potassium, which can be dangerous for people with kidney problems. Let's discuss some important safety considerations and warning signs that warrant medical attention. While electrolyte imbalances can occur from inadequate intake, they can also result from excessive supplementation or underlying health conditions. Signs of electrolyte imbalances can include persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, muscle weakness or cramping, irregular heartbeat or palpitations, dizziness or confusion, significant changes in urination patterns, persistent nausea or vomiting, or sudden swelling in hands, feet, or ankles. These symptoms can have many potential causes and require proper medical evaluation rather than self-treatment with supplements. Electrolyte imbalances can be serious and sometimes life-threatening, particularly imbalances involving potassium, sodium, or magnesium. It's especially important to seek medical attention if you experience chest pain, severe dizziness, fainting, severe weakness, or difficulty breathing, as these could indicate serious electrolyte disturbances affecting heart function. Kidney disease deserves special mention because the kidneys are primarily responsible for regulating fluid and electrolyte balance. Even mild kidney dysfunction can significantly affect how your body processes minerals, making supplementation potentially dangerous without medical supervision. If you have diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or kidney problems, or if you take medications for these conditions, any changes to your mineral intake should be discussed with your healthcare provider. Many common medications affect mineral balance, and adjusting intake without medical guidance can lead to dangerous interactions. Now, let's explore some evidence-based approaches to optimizing hydration that prioritize safety and individual needs. The foundation of any healthy hydration strategy should be adequate plain water intake based on your individual circumstances. While the often quoted 8 glasses a day rule isn't scientifically precise, it provides a reasonable starting point for many people. Your actual needs depend on factors like body size, activity level, climate, overall health, and whether you're pregnant or breastfeeding. A more individualized approach involves paying attention to your body's signals. Thirst is a reliable indicator for most healthy people, though it may be less sensitive in older adults. Urine color can provide useful feedback, with pale yellow indicating good hydration and dark yellow suggesting you may need more fluids. However, certain medications and health conditions can affect urine color, making it a less reliable indicator for some people. If you have questions about what's normal for you, discuss it with your healthcare provider. Focus on obtaining electrolytes primarily from whole food sources before considering supplements. This approach provides minerals along with other beneficial nutrients and reduces the risk of imbalances that can occur with isolated supplements. Include a variety of fruits and vegetables in your diet as they provide potassium, magnesium, and other minerals. Dairy products or fortified plant alternatives can provide calcium. If you use salt in cooking, consider using unrefined sea salt or mined salt in moderation. For most people, if you're eating a varied diet that includes fruits, vegetables, dairy, or alternatives, and modest amounts of salt, you're likely getting adequate electrolytes for normal daily activities. Consider your individual risk factors and circumstances. Are you very active or do you sweat heavily? Do you live in a hot climate or work in hot conditions? Do you have health conditions or take medications that affect fluid balance? Are you older and potentially at higher risk for dehydration? These factors might suggest that paying closer attention to electrolyte intake could be beneficial, but they don't necessarily mean you need supplements. Often, dietary adjustments or increased attention to hydration timing can address increased needs. If you're considering electrolyte supplementation, start conservatively and monitor your response. Begin with lower doses than recommended maximums and pay attention to how you feel. Keep track of any changes in energy, sleep, exercise performance, or other symptoms. Be particularly cautious with potassium supplements, which should generally only be used under medical supervision. Magnesium supplements are generally safer but can cause digestive upset in some people. Start with smaller doses and increase gradually if needed. Remember that more is not necessarily better when it comes to minerals. Your body maintains electrolyte balance within narrow ranges, and exceeding these ranges can cause problems just as readily as deficiency can. Quality matters significantly if you choose supplements. Look for products that have been third-party tested for purity and potency. Avoid products making exaggerated claims or those that seem too good to be true. Read labels carefully and be aware of what you're consuming. Some electrolyte products contain significant amounts of sugar, artificial sweeteners, caffeine, or other additives that may not align with your health goals. Consider the timing of supplementation. Some minerals are better absorbed on an empty stomach, while others are better tolerated with food. Magnesium supplements taken before bed may help with sleep for some people, while others find them energizing. Be aware of potential interactions between minerals and medications. For example, calcium can interfere with certain antibiotics, while magnesium can affect the absorption of some medications. If you take prescription medications, discuss supplement timing with your pharmacist or healthcare provider. Monitor your response to any changes in your hydration or supplementation routine. Keep track of energy levels, sleep quality, exercise performance, and any symptoms. If you notice negative changes, discontinue supplements and consult with a healthcare provider. Regular medical checkups can help ensure that your hydration and electrolyte status are appropriate for your individual health needs. Blood tests can reveal electrolyte imbalances before they cause symptoms, and your healthcare provider can help you interpret results in the context of your overall health. Let's address some common misconceptions about hydration and electrolytes that I frequently encounter. One persistent myth is that you can't drink too much water. While water toxicity is rare, it can occur if large amounts of water are consumed rapidly without adequate electrolyte replacement. This can lead to dangerously low blood sodium levels. Another misconception is that clear urine always indicates optimal hydration. While very dark urine usually suggests dehydration, completely clear urine might indicate that you're drinking more than necessary. Though this is rarely harmful for healthy people, there's also confusion about whether caffeine-containing beverages contribute to hydration. Research shows that moderate caffeine intake doesn't cause significant dehydration in regular consumers. So coffee and tea can contribute to fluid intake, Though water remains the best choice for primary hydration, some people believe that thirst is an unreliable indicator of hydration needs. While thirst sensitivity may decrease with age, it remains a useful guide for most healthy adults. The key is paying attention to your body's signals and not overriding them with arbitrary rules about water consumption. There's also a misconception that sports drinks are necessary for anyone who exercises. For most recreational exercise lasting less than an hour, water is sufficient. Sports drinks may be beneficial for longer, more intense activities, but they're often unnecessary for typical gym workouts or moderate activities. As we conclude this comprehensive look at hydration and electrolytes, let's summarize the key evidence-based takeaways that can help guide your decisions. Proper hydration involves more than just water volume. It requires maintaining an appropriate balance of water and electrolytes that support cellular function, nerve transmission, muscle contraction, and overall physiological processes. Individual needs vary significantly based on age, health status, activity level, climate, medications, and genetic factors. What works for one person may not be appropriate for another, making individualized assessment important. For most healthy adults, a diet that includes fruits, vegetables, dairy or alternatives, and modest salt intake provides adequate electrolytes for normal daily activities. Plain water meets basic hydration needs under typical circumstances. Certain situations may increase electrolyte needs, including prolonged exercise, hot environments, illness, or specific health conditions. However, increased needs don't automatically require supplements and can often be met through dietary adjustments. If you consider electrolyte supplementation, prioritize safety by starting conservatively, choosing quality products, monitoring your response, and seeking medical guidance when appropriate, especially if you have health conditions or take medications. Red flags that warrant medical attention include persistent fatigue, muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, dizziness, significant changes in urination, or other concerning symptoms that could indicate electrolyte imbalances. The foundation of healthy hydration remains simple. Drink when thirsty, eat a varied diet. Pay attention to your body's signals and seek professional guidance when you have questions or concerns about your individual needs. Remember that health optimization is a long-term process that benefits from gradual, sustainable changes rather than dramatic interventions. Small, consistent improvements in your hydration habits combined with an overall healthy lifestyle are more beneficial than searching for quick fixes or miracle solutions. This information is intended to help you make informed decisions about hydration and electrolyte intake, but it cannot replace individualized medical advice. Your healthcare provider knows your specific health history, medications, and risk factors, making them the best resource for personalized guidance. If you found this comprehensive overview helpful, please like and subscribe for more evidence-based health content. Share your questions in the comments about hydration, electrolytes, or related topics. I review current research regularly to provide accurate, helpful information for future videos. Most importantly, prioritize your health by working with qualified healthcare professionals who understand your individual circumstances. Good health is built on a foundation of reliable information, professional guidance, and consistent healthy habits rather than quick fixes or oversimplified solutions. Now, let's delve deeper into some advanced considerations that can help optimize your understanding of hydration science and its practical applications in daily life. The timing of hydration throughout the day can significantly impact how effectively your body utilizes water and electrolytes. Research in chronobiology suggests that our bodies have natural rhythms that affect kidney function, hormone production, and cellular water transport. Understanding these patterns can help you optimize your hydration strategy. Upon waking, your body is naturally in a state of mild dehydration after hours without fluid intake. This is why many people feel groggy or experience headaches in the morning. Starting your day with adequate fluid intake can help restore hydration status and support cognitive function as you begin daily activities. However, the composition of your morning hydration matters. Some research suggests that consuming plain water immediately upon waking may not be as effective as water that contains small amounts of electrolytes, particularly if you've sweated during sleep or if you're in a warm environment. This doesn't necessarily require supplements, as even a small amount of natural salt or eating water-rich fruits can provide beneficial minerals. The pre-exercise hydration window is another critical consideration. Studies in exercise physiology indicate that hydration status 2 to 4 hours before physical activity can significantly impact performance and safety. Prehydrating with appropriate electrolyte balance may be more effective than trying to replace fluids during exercise, especially for longer activities. During exercise, the rate of fluid replacement should generally match the rate of fluid loss through sweat, though this varies enormously among individuals. Some people are heavy sweaters who lose significant sodium, while others lose relatively little. Understanding your individual sweat rate and composition can help tailor your hydration strategy for optimal performance and safety. Post-exercise hydration involves not just replacing the volume of fluid lost, but also addressing the electrolyte deficit created by sweating. Research suggests that consuming 150% of the fluid lost during exercise may be necessary for complete rehydration. As continued fluid losses occur through normal physiological processes even after exercise ends, the role of hydration in cognitive function deserves special attention, particularly as we age. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can affect memory, attention, and mood. For older adults, maintaining optimal hydration may be particularly important for preserving cognitive function and reducing the risk of confusion or falls. Temperature regulation is another crucial function of proper hydration that becomes more challenging with age. Older adults have reduced ability to regulate body temperature and may be at higher risk for heat-related illness. Adequate hydration supports the body's cooling mechanisms, but electrolyte balance is equally important for maintaining these protective functions. The relationship between hydration and sleep quality is complex and often overlooked. While adequate hydration is important for overall health, consuming large amounts of fluid close to bedtime can disrupt sleep through frequent urination. Finding the right balance involves maintaining good hydration throughout the day while tapering fluid intake in the evening hours. Magnesium's role in sleep regulation adds another layer to consider. Some people find that magnesium supplementation in the evening helps with sleep quality, potentially due to magnesium's role in regulating neurotransmitters that promote relaxation. However, individual responses vary, and what helps one person sleep better might keep another person awake. Seasonal considerations also affect hydration needs in ways that many people don't consider. Winter heating and lower humidity levels can increase fluid needs, even though you may not feel as thirsty as you do in summer. Air travel, which involves low cabin humidity and pressure changes, can also affect hydration status more than many people realize. The interaction between hydration and other aspects of health becomes more complex as we age. Medication effects on fluid balance can be subtle but significant. Diuretics obviously increase fluid losses, but many other common medications can affect hydration status in less obvious ways. Blood pressure medications, particularly ACE inhibitors and angiotensin receptor blockers, can affect how the kidneys handle sodium and potassium. Diabetes medications may affect fluid balance through their effects on blood sugar and kidney function. Even over-the-counter medications like NSAIDs can affect kidney function and electrolyte balance with regular use. The concept of cellular hydration versus systemic hydration helps explain why some people can drink large amounts of water but still feel symptoms of dehydration. True hydration occurs at the cellular level, where water and nutrients need to cross cell membranes to support metabolic processes. This transport is facilitated by appropriate electrolyte concentrations and proper cell membrane function. Chronic stress can affect hydration status through multiple mechanisms. Stress hormones like cortisol can affect kidney function and electrolyte balance. Stress may also affect eating and drinking patterns, potentially leading to inadequate intake of both fluids and electrolytes. Additionally, stress can affect sleep quality, which in turn affects hormone regulation and fluid balance. The gut microbiome's relationship with hydration and electrolyte absorption is an emerging area of research. The bacteria in our digestive system play roles in mineral absorption and may influence how effectively we utilize electrolytes from food and supplements. This suggests another reason why obtaining minerals from varied food sources may be superior to isolated supplements. Inflammation, whether from injury, illness, or chronic conditions, can significantly affect fluid and electrolyte needs. Inflammatory processes can increase fluid losses and alter how the body distributes and utilizes electrolytes. This is why hydration needs may increase during illness, even if you don't feel particularly thirsty. Advanced testing options exist for people who want more detailed information about their hydration and electrolyte status. While basic blood tests can reveal electrolyte levels, specialized tests can provide information about cellular hydration, mineral absorption, and kidney function. However, these tests are typically only necessary if you have ongoing symptoms or specific health concerns. Biomarkers beyond the basic electrolyte panel can provide insights into hydration status and mineral utilization. Tests for vitamin D status can be relevant since vitamin D affects calcium and magnesium absorption. Thyroid function tests may be important since thyroid hormones affect metabolism and fluid balance. Kidney function markers become increasingly important as we age. The precision nutrition approach to hydration considers genetic factors that affect mineral absorption and utilization. Some people have genetic variations that affect how efficiently they absorb magnesium, while others may have differences in sodium sensitivity. While genetic testing for these factors is becoming more available, it's not necessary for most people to optimize their hydration strategy. Environmental toxin exposure can affect mineral utilization and hydration needs. Heavy metals like lead or mercury can interfere with mineral absorption and cellular function. While this is not a concern for most people, those with known exposures or certain occupational risks might need to pay extra attention to mineral status. The role of hydration in immune function becomes particularly relevant as we age and face increased risk of infections. Proper hydration supports the lymphatic system, which is crucial for immune function. Electrolyte balance affects the function of immune cells, and dehydration can impair the body's ability to fight off infections. Hydration strategies for specific health conditions require individualized approaches that should always involve health care providers. People with heart failure need to carefully balance fluid intake with their body's reduced ability to handle excess fluid. Those with kidney disease may need to restrict certain electrolytes while ensuring adequate hydration. Diabetes affects hydration in multiple ways, from increased urination due to high blood sugar to potential kidney damage that affects fluid regulation. People with diabetes often benefit from careful attention to electrolyte balance, particularly if they're physically active or take medications that affect fluid balance. The intersection of hydration with weight management is complex and often misunderstood. While proper hydration can support healthy metabolism and may help with appetite regulation, drinking excessive amounts of water doesn't directly cause weight loss. However, replacing high-calorie beverages with water can certainly contribute to weight management goals. Advanced hydration strategies for athletes or highly active individuals may involve more sophisticated approaches than what's necessary for the general population. These might include sweat testing to determine individual electrolyte losses, customized replacement strategies based on activity duration and intensity, and careful timing of hydration relative to performance goals. Recovery from illness or medical procedures often involves increased attention to hydration and electrolyte status. Surgery, infections, and certain medical treatments can significantly affect fluid balance. Healthcare providers typically monitor and manage these needs in medical settings, but understanding the principles can help with recovery at home. The psychological aspects of hydration shouldn't be overlooked. Some people develop anxiety around hydration, constantly worrying about whether they're drinking enough or obsessively monitoring urine color. Others may use excessive water consumption as a form of control or stress management. Maintaining a balanced perspective on hydration as one component of overall health is important for psychological well-being. Quality of life considerations become increasingly important as we age. For some older adults, frequent urination due to medications or health conditions can limit social activities or travel. Working with healthcare providers to optimize hydration strategies that support both health and quality of life is an important consideration. The economics of hydration choices can be significant over time. While plain water from the tap is generally the most economical choice, some people prefer filtered water or may need specific types of electrolyte replacement. Balancing cost with health benefits and personal preferences requires individual consideration. Emergency preparedness should include consideration of hydration needs. Natural disasters, power outages, or other emergencies can disrupt normal access to clean water and nutritious foods. Having a plan for maintaining adequate hydration during emergencies is particularly important for older adults or those with health conditions. Future developments in hydration science may provide more personalized approaches to optimization. Research into wearable devices that can monitor hydration status in real time is ongoing. Advances in understanding the gut microbiome's role in mineral absorption may lead to new approaches to supplementation. The integration of hydration strategies with other aspects of healthy aging provides the most benefit. Combining appropriate hydration with regular physical activity, adequate sleep, stress management, and social connection creates synergistic effects that support overall health and vitality as we age. Understanding the limitations of current knowledge is also important. While we know a great deal about basic hydration physiology, many questions remain about optimal strategies for different individuals and circumstances. This uncertainty reinforces the importance of working with health care providers for personalized guidance, especially if you have health conditions or take medications. The practical implementation of hydration optimization should be gradual and sustainable. Making dramatic changes to fluid intake or starting multiple supplements simultaneously can make it difficult to assess what's helping and what might be causing problems. A systematic approach that involves making one change at a time and monitoring your response is generally more effective. Regular reassessment of your hydration strategy is important as your health status, activity level, or medications change. What works well at one point in your life may need adjustment as circumstances change. Staying informed about new research while maintaining a critical perspective on health claims can help you make good decisions over time. The bottom line remains that hydration is one important component of overall health that deserves attention, but shouldn't become an obsession. Most people can maintain good hydration through common sense approaches: drinking when thirsty, eating a varied diet, paying attention to their body's signals, and seeking professional guidance when they have concerns. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this important aspect of health. Stay hydrated, stay informed, and remember that the best health decisions are those made with proper knowledge and professional support when needed.